Not all that fight darkness are of the light, but all that fight the light are in darkness. Yes, indeed. How's it going, everyone? This is Jegas getting back into motion again, dusting off the code. You guys who know me know that I left coding, went into CNA, then I went into nursing, then had a car accident with a brain injury bad enough to make me not really qualified to do medical anymore, unless I go take those batteries as a test and I've healed enough, which I think I might be there. I don't know. I'm trying to get back into coding again though, and I'm going to be supporting the Jegas application server, and that's the software I wrote. It's kind of like a WordPress and a CRM system and database system and all kinds of neat things rolled into one. It's definitely an animal all its own, and it's going to be very useful for folks that are maybe trying to spread content and don't want to be relying on the other people's clouds. With the software that I'm making, you can make your own cloud. It might not be as good as Google. It might not be as good as Facebook. It might not be as good as YouTube or anything like that. But it gives you all the pieces you need to be self-reliant, kind of like having your own, Joomla or something like that. Except on your, if you have your own server and you run this software, or like a Joomla or anything like that, that's your own software. At least that way, if they come at you, if they vote you off the block, because of your freedom of speech, when you have your own web server under your own cloud that you're in control of, then you don't have to worry about like things that happened to Alex Jones. You would just have your website and host all your own video, and then it doesn't matter if they kick you off or not because you are still standing. So that's pretty much partly why I'm into Jegas application server. The main reason is that the code is open source like a Joomla. The encryption stuff is the source code's available, and the fact is that when you look it over, there's no backdoors built into it. The only way it's an honest system. And I think that's really important, because a lot of systems, the programmers tend to like to put in backdoors, and they usually even brag about them, like the little backdoors they make. But each backdoor that you make is an invitation for the bad guys to take note of that, as well as the programmers who put them in there. Sometimes they're setting up a trap for themselves for later. So your customers might be using all your own software, and one of your own programmers is rogue enough that that little vulnerability that was actually intentionally there and hidden well, they can utilize and exploit you. So just keep all these things in mind. The world is a very nasty place, like my other video that said the cloud is not your friend. So I'm going to be dusting this stuff off. I'm actually, I've been programming my whole life, but even after a break, there's enough minutia, especially after a brain injury and all the medical stuff that I filled my brain up with when I was going to school. I have to kind of get reacclimated to even my own code. But so that's where I'm at. So I don't even have a full destination on what I'm doing yet, other than the fact that I need to get re-familiar with all the parts of the software again before I can really start making any major changes to it. I gotta have all those variables in my head again, have the complete design refreshed in my brain before I go make a move, because the last thing you want to do on any system is go in there blind and do something that really isn't leveraging either what the system has to offer that might be better, as well as possibly putting a wrinkle in something that was fine before you touched it. So I still have bugs that obviously need to be worked out, but they're not showstoppers, and I'm still working on it. So that's where I'm at. And in the past, the Jegas application server has served me very well with consulting. If it's the right software for the job, I would use it. It's good for integration with other systems. It's good for integrating multiple systems into one user interface. It has many good uses, and if it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit. But for those who are bold and aren't afraid of using something that's a little non-mainstream, like I always say, get out of the mainstream and into the jet stream with Jegas LLC. Yeah. So there it is. And this video right here is just to let you know that I'm back and things are going to be hopping again. I hope, at least for me, in the code. And remember, I'm a one-person software shop right now. I'm not running an entire business full of coders. And I've done that in the past where I've had people working for me and coders and all that kind of stuff, and people handling the books and handling the administration part of things. But right now I'm back to doing solo, and that's actually when I do some of my best code. So it's not that I can't do a team. It's just usually I find I do pretty well writing the stuff, and then having a team under me or something like that, that works out pretty well too. But not because I have to be the boss, but because I have to be the boss. My wife hates when I say that. There's reasons for both sides to it. That's why. I don't like to be the boss because I like to be kingpin, but sometimes I like to be the boss to make sure that the code is at least coming along together in a way where the APIs and the designs and the foundation is keeping an eye to the quick near future as well as the long-term future, and staying within the scope and keeping that vision of what that scope is to keep the software true to itself. To thine own self be true. So there it is. And have a good day. And if I'm gonna be casting in a minute. Actually, I'm gonna be doing live and just keeping it up when I'm boring doing coding. But this is often when a lot of my coding friends, if they see that I'm online, will start hanging out with me again, and we'll be hanging out and coding together while we work with listening to tunes. So there it is. Have a good day. See you later. This is Jegas or Jason Sage from Jegas LLC. Have a good day. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, I've become a Sikh. So why do you go to Al Kasa? Why do you go?